And welcome to our show, Geeks Ride Podcast, where we talk about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. And I'm your host, Bill. And this week we have Anthony.
Hello.
And Steven.
Howdy.
And you can also reach out to us by sending us an email at geeksarewired@gmail.com or send us a voicemail or a text message to 801-896-4335.
Which spells out geek.
Yep. Or support us. You can even support us. It's helpful. Going to patreon.com/geeksarewired, and you get early access to the podcast, access to our Discord channel, and it's just good, generally good support. We'd appreciate.
I like that appreciation, Bill. Also, when you do send a text message or email, if you'd like us to, we will say your question on the air.
Yes.
Which I think is very nice. Bill reads every comment.
Every
one of them.
I respond to them, too.
And he responds to them,
I get a message. I'm like, hey.
He even gets the messages, and he's like, hey.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, what's up? Thanks. Appreciate it. Let us know. What do you think?
It's
Good,
just a beautiful
bad?
service.
Tell me. I'm curious. I'm asking for all the problems and all the good things. How else do you improve? You have to ask. Please, let me know.
That's what I ask my body every day.
Yeah.
Hey, let me know what I can do better so you work better.
It's like eat less pizza, drink less soda.
Man, that's just no fair, man. Pizza? God, I miss pizza.
I know. Same. I was actually looking, I was like, how fast can I get pizza back?
Oh my God, dude. So like right before I started my diet, because your wife had made thin crust Papa Murphy's.
Yeah.
I was at my mother's house and she was like, we should get pizza. And I was like, cool. And she was like, I want to do Papa Murphy's. And I'm like, yes, get thin crust. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, now she will not order a Papa Murphy's pizza without the thin crust. She's like, this was the best pizza ever. And it was such a good send-off into my diet because that was the day right before my diet. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh, so good.
So if you're wondering, I guess we kind of did it a little last week. I guess you get your thing a little bit with the themes. We're all doing, well, a couple of us. The majority of us on this podcast are doing temporary restricted diets to help see how we react to food as we introduce things back, and we're on different ones.
And it's fun, you know what I mean? Like, really, it's taught me a lot. Doing the restrictive diet stuff has taught me a lot. I manage my macro and micronutrients like on an app, and that's like really been eye-opening. I think that even when I eat regular again, like if I ever go back to just eating, crappy, I think that the app would help me not do that because I'd start looking at it and be like, oh no, really?
Well, even before this, I would track, and I started figuring out, like, just with this, just track it. Don't worry about, and also be honest. Don't think this, steak that fills up your entire plate is only 3 ounces. Like, actually weigh stuff, actually be honest.
Yes.
Figure out exactly what it is, and be honest to yourself, and just track it. Doesn't matter, don't try to think about it, and you start figuring out, well, hey, this one item is 10,000 calories, and I still wanted like 10 more of these things.
Right.
Well, this other thing was like 50 calories, and I was happy afterwards.
Satiated.
Yeah. You start really learning like what fills you up, and start kind of being honest. Because you see the numbers at fast food places or all that.
Right.
I'm thinking like most people, I don't think fully realize like the connection between them. So that's why like, oh yeah, they exist. Whatever.
Yep.
And you start thinking about it, you start putting it in, you're like, actually,
no.
I can't go to McDonald's today because,
exactly.
I want birthday cake tonight. Well, let's kind of start restricting some of these calories back, and then.
Yeah. No, and you know what? You actually make a huge good point about the food scale. I use mine every day, and if you are tracking, I strongly suggest just get a food scale, one that does like ounces, and pounds and grams or whatever.
All of it, yeah.
And then, oh man, mine is worth its weight in gold. I can't tell you how, like, now that I've used it for the past couple of weeks, I can't live without it now, especially for logging, because I'm like, how much chicken is this? And like, I didn't understand how to like log a pound of chicken wings.
Yeah.
And then I realized I'm not eating a pound of chicken wings.
Yeah, you reweigh it afterwards.
You know what I mean?
You're like,
oh God, this is like, 8 ounces. This is a half a pound. Like, so it really is helpful.
Or cutting off like all the fat off of, you get a big old T-bone steak, and you're like, this is just so much fat. You just cut, reweigh your plate afterwards, and you're like, actually, I only ate this much.
Yep. That's great advice, folks.
And you really do learn, actually, what is a pound of, insert. Or what is 4 ounces?
Yep.
The more you do it.
The more you know,
Yes.
the more you grow, Bill.
Ooh. Da 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 da.
All right, what's our first topic for today now that we're off of diets?
Also, very important information came out. Microsoft released a very big security flaw for Windows the day Windows 7 stopped being supported.
Are you sure they released it? Because I've been reading the article and it's coming. Like,
Okay,
it comes off as that it's old API that's been around forever.
So there's been a few. I've read both. I've read multiple things. One that they guaranteed to release it to government agencies and big companies that really, really need it. But they've also been told not to say anything about it. There's tons of information out about it, though, so kind of like, if they're not saying anything, then why is there so much information? There must be some way more bad stuff on it.
Probably.
But there's been tons of updates already. So I'm questioning whether it actually did get released or not. I may have just caught the Tuesday, first or second Tuesday release. But it's going to be, so this takes care of the encryption. And the other thing, though, is everyone goes like, oh, with the end of Windows 10, like, oh, see, don't
Windows
upgrade to Windows
7. You said 10.
Well, upgrade to Windows 10.
Okay. That works.
Well, people were saying that this is a Windows 10 issue. No, this is a Windows issue.
It's a Windows issue.
Oh, okay.
This is
all the way around.
Yeah. And supposedly, if you have Windows 7, you can still upgrade to 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can. No, I did
You
do
did?
that. Yeah.
Okay, so I
did that on a gaming laptop that I had that was I just
real recently?
decided to real recently,
Nice.
like seriously in the last few months. Like,
Oh, nice.
I mean, no more than like 3 months ago. I looked at it and I was because I built another gaming PC and then I had Windows 10 on that and I said, man, I should just do that free upgrade. And then I thought about it and I was like, man, maybe they're not offering that anymore. They are. So it's
Nice.
good. And it went really smooth too. I was really surprised. It didn't take very long at all and everything was still good and all my files looked fine and I was like, well, I'm glad I did that because I want, the security support for the latest and greatest that's out there. But that's nice of them to offer that free upgrade, really.
So there was also the question whether because it wasn't supposed to go past 2016.
That's what I had heard, and that's why I kind of worried. I thought to myself, I was like, man, they're going to really stop supporting Windows 7. I actually need to upgrade this laptop then. I'm going to maybe have to buy a Windows key, and I probably wouldn't have. I probably just wouldn't use the laptop anymore, honestly.
So, they actually, even their website, official, support Microsoft for, looking it up and everything. I know what the website, I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll throw it in the show notes. But there is they were supposed to turn it off. They just didn't. Either that or maybe they just we'll leave this over here and
just worry about it later.
Well, let people get it instead of people complaining.
No, and I think that was a smart move.
Yeah.
I partook in that.
But it also led to last year, 2019, being the highest purchase of PCs and laptops.
Really?
Yeah, that was ridiculous for the number that it spiked. It went up last year.
Wow.
Why?
Because everyone's worried about upgrading to Windows 10.
Oh,
so buy
I
a
see.
new machine.
Yeah, see, just exactly, dude. Because I know that a key for Windows 10 isn't as expensive as a new laptop.
Mm-hmm.
I realize this, but at the same time, it's not like the laptop that I was using was super old. I mean, it was from 2009.
Yeah,
And
That's 10 years old.
It's a gaming laptop, so it had a lot of good features, but it was still usable. I could hook it up to my TV or something with wireless mouse and keyboard and do stuff on it. But I was contemplating if it doesn't upgrade, maybe I'll just save up some money and get a new.
Just get a Raspberry Pi. If you're gonna hook it up to your TV.
Oh my god, dude, I love Raspberry Pi. But mine, I just use that for a emulation station.
Yeah.
That's what I use mine for. But I've actually thought about doing that because my mom is, her computer skills are, non-existent. And I thought, man, I could probably make her a halfway decent just PC for her to use that has internet and,
A browser,
processing, photos.
Ubuntu,
and
maybe an Ubuntu machine. Something super small.
Just something super small that isn't going to be too much for her to figure out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I really have considered that.
I would probably stress stress not using a Raspberry Pi for that.
Really?
Because only for the sole reason that the SD cards have a tendency to corrupt.
Oh, really? Like after...
At least on the first revisions. I don't know about the ones they're on now, but I've had it happen to me like 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like, if you're using just like the normal like tiny 8 gigabyte, I say tiny, but 8 gigabyte like SanDisk ones, they're generally fine. Or if you're using a higher quality USB power supply, it tends to be okay too. But it just gets like bad power one time and it just corrupts it. The thing is usable still. You just have to reformat it.
Interesting.
So she would be without a computer for a bit till you fix that.
Yeah, till I fix it. Yeah. Maybe. Well, I'm glad you said something, Anthony, because maybe that will deter me from
spend some real money then.
Yeah.
At least $50 instead of $20.
Well, she has she bought a brand new laptop and she's been using that. But I don't know if she like keeps it on and it irritates her when it's updating and stuff. She just
that's like almost tablets. Like I'm enjoying using my tablet a little bit more than my computer.
And that's what I've told her is like because she bought an iPad too, like on Black Friday. I told her like just use that.
Yeah,
that should just be your thing then. But I don't know.
It's super useful.
It is. Tablets are awesome.
I kind of wish my tablet would play games. Then it would officially replace my laptops and computers. And
like real games.
Like
Elder Scrolls Online and...
Isn't there a mobile version of that? It's not the same, but...
Well, okay, there is. I forgot what it's called. But there is a mobile version of an online game for Elder Scrolls.
Okay.
Blades. The Blades. That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have heard of that.
It was fun. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
Do it for you.
ESO. More fun. And then Fallout 76. So, yes. Look for this upgrade. Keep your Windows updated. And let's move that one over. And I was also digging around so I didn't see anything about this. Again, all the many things that Google likes to release that we don't know about or that just gets buried in all the other stuff they released. I was digging through my assistant stuff and it was like, hey, link your Disney Plus account. I'm like, okay, cool. That'll make it easier maybe it'll work with my voice through my Chromecast. So I went back. It didn't. I must have linked it somewhere else. Or maybe I gave away my password. Luckily, I shut down my Disney Plus account. I don't know. But on the other side, in the assistant, there was Hulu. And I was like, okay. And I'm like, let's check this out.
And that one works?
Did it work good?
It totally worked. I just had to know the name of the show, obviously. Like Netflix, you kind of bend, so you kind of like know what you're watching at the moment. Or you have these shows on the Hulu. It's this weekly thing. Like, what shows am I watching? And but I still hate Hulu's continuous play. Like, I have a list of shows that I'm waiting, that are queued up to watch, that I'm setting to watch. And they're like, we'll play this show, and then we're going to go off on the list on what we think you should watch.
Oh, okay. I see.
Tries to pick it algorithmically.
Yes, I'm like, I don't care if it picks algorithmically.
Yeah, I also had trouble saying
but it must go through my queue first.
Hooked on phonics.
Yes. Didn't work for me, apparently.
Huh. That sucks. Yeah, I never had that problem.
Oh, I turned off.
But that's because I don't queue up the shows like that. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm watching old shows, and then I like Hulu's because it just goes a lot longer than Netflix is. You know what I mean? Because Netflix, it's like after like 3 episodes of something, it'll ask you, "Are you still watching this?"
Sometimes. On Chromecasts, it does not.
Oh, that's nice.
On computers, it does. On your tablet, I think it does still.
I think it does on
the Apple TV app does that too.
I think
it does it on my TV. I have a Samsung Smart TV, and so I'll watch Netflix on that. And then after 3 episodes of not pressing anything or whatever, if I'm binging something, it'll be like, "Hey, are you still watching this?"
I think the consoles do too.
Yeah.
I don't know about Roku.
Yeah.
So that's a nice thing. So you have to go into your Google Assistant though. And go sign. You have to tie them together. You're like, yes, you have to sign into your Hulu account through your Google Assistant. Same thing as if you did with your Netflix, with your HBO account. If you were subscribed to CBS, their account. What else? I probably should pull it up. There's actually a decent list. Not as decent as I would.
So that means that you just tell it.
Yeah. I don't have to actually open up my phone to cast. I just, hey, I'm watching this. Turn on The Mandalorian.
Oh, okay. Cool.
It doesn't work that cool, but I wish it would work with Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. So you would have to say like, open Hulu, and then play blank.
Oh no. Okay. So before you would open it up on your tablet or phone or whatever, and then cast it to your Chromecast.
Right.
So now you just if you have Google phone or Google speakers, you just go Google play Grey's Anatomy from Hulu on TV.
Oh wow.
And that's it.
That's fun. That's cool.
I'm trying to stall things out to make sure there's no accidental triggers.
Now everybody's like,
oh man, what show should I pick?
So man, I'm throat.
You're just dying over here.
Yeah, my voice is dead. But I went to the Google Home app on my iPhone and then went to link videos and photos.
Mm-hmm.
The list is Netflix, Hulu, HBO Now, CBS, Viki, never heard of Viki, YouTube Kids, Stars, and Sling TV.
Sling.
Oh yeah, I forgot with the Dish connection.
Yeah. And then music, you still have Spotify, Deezer, Pandora, Google Play Music, and YouTube Music. Seems like kind of a small list.
So when's Apple going to get their assistant?
They have one. It's called Siri.
I know, but does it work like those little... Do they have a little pod thing?
No, they have the Home Pod, which is an expensive device, to say the least.
Okay. So they do have one.
Sort of.
Okay.
I don't know. They were the first on the market for home, assistants, voice assistants at all.
Uh-huh.
And they just kind of dropped the ball.
Weird.
The iPhone 4S had Siri on it.
Right.
That was 10 years, 12 years ago. No, sorry, 9 years ago, 8, something like that.
Some amount of years
Yeah.
ago. That's interesting. Yeah, I never really thought that. I just never saw them. I see the Amazon one and the Google one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, Sonos. So maybe also Amazon didn't feel like they owned the rights enough on it.
Mm-hmm.
Sonos is suing Google over the speakers.
Really?
Because they worked with Google and they've worked with Amazon too to try to get the integration with it. And then they moved away. Well, Google put out the speakers and they started looking through it hey, that's our technology. And they were asked, well, why aren't you taking Amazon to court? One big player at a time.
Yeah.
We can't afford 2 massive lawsuits against 2 major companies, which will be interesting because Google has this mass amount of trademark and copyright material for all their stuff. So there may be this throw back and forth because Google's ran into this with Apple on stuff. So it might open up Apple to finally get because Google has this, this is now open for us to use.
Interesting.
And Sonos, this isn't the first time they've taken on Google. They took on Google because they wanted to get both assistants, Amazon's and Google's, on the same speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Amazon's was easy to integrate. Google's wasn't. They're fix this because of these, because we have these trademarks on the speakers and you have to guarantee it.
Wow.
And they won. So they've actually beaten Google before.
Oh, wow. So this ought to be interesting then. This is going to drag out for a long time.
Oh,
I imagine.
of course.
Yeah.
Years.
And that's why, one big player at a time. So if they win this, Amazon may just go,
settle.
It's yours. We'll do whatever you need.
Yeah, to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
So what did they steal? I know it's speaker technology, but just the microphones in particular, or just the
way it all works together. There's a lot of
the whole
parts.
package.
Yeah, just
because you have multiple microphones,
mm-hmm.
and it's usually just one speaker, but I think some of them you can have quite a few, especially the Max one. So
interesting.
So apparently there's 100 patents.
Yeah. I believe
Whoa! So that's a lot of components.
Each, both of them, for Google and Amazon.
Wow. Interesting. Well, they'll probably win again then.
Well, this may be a bit, but
yeah.
I kind of hope they do because they are actually really good speakers, and they've been doing a good job at that.
I don't know. I remember when Google, the Chromecast stuff came out, where you could group multiple rooms together on the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
that was a really big selling point, and because Sonos could do that too, but it was a lot of money per device, whereas Chromecast was like $30 for a audio version. So.
Oh, so Sonos has its own?
Yeah. Sonos was a speaker company before all this.
Okay, so but just speakers, not assistants.
Yeah. So their speakers sound good, but the advantage of the Chromecast was you can hook it up to whatever speaker system you got. Could be a little tinny speaker, or it could be like your nice hi-fi. So
I see.
But they worked with Google and Amazon while the assistant speakers were getting ready to come out.
Oh, helping them out with sound and stuff like that.
Well, they're like, oh, maybe you'll be our maker of the speakers and all this. And so this is like this is from way back actually.
The plot thickens.
Yeah, it says I don't know. There was a good line on this Engadget article. I think it was towards the top, but I don't know. Oh, it's at the subheader. So it claims that Google exploited a partnership to squeeze out competition.
Yeah.
So
out that competition.
Kind of sounds like they did, at least this part of the story. There's always two sides, at least two. This probably has three, if you include Amazon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
maybe Apple could be stepping back from it for a moment. They were like, we aren't technically sure about this. Well, maybe that's why. Or they didn't step into it enough, kind of like how Microsoft does that sometimes, where we're going to run this way. Okay, light jog this way. Meander towards that other shiny object.
Well, I think Microsoft's a little bit more. Like, Microsoft is like, I don't know, ADD, kind of. They're like, oh yeah, cool, this shiny thing, like you said. And then, they just give up. And like, the Kinect was that thing. So they pushed it real hard.
But the
and
Kinect's
then they
not
didn't.
dead.
I know. But then they pushed it really hard on the 360, and then they backed away from it. And then when the one came out, they pushed it really hard, almost to the point where it lost a lot of like customers.
Yep.
Among other reasons, and then they backed off of it again, and now it's basically dead.
Well, it's dead for personal use.
Yeah. So they still have it for like commercial. You can still get it for the PC, but
Xbox's user interface is what did me in.
Which time? Because they've done some major updates.
The Xbox One. I just updated mine not too long ago because I had it turned off forever.
Oh yeah, so you did get to see the major differences they did.
Yeah,
the tiles.
My favorite was like they had the blades on the 360. I kind of liked that a lot. It was really easy to navigate, and it was super fast. Like it was very snappy. And then they upgraded to kind of what it looks like somewhat today, like. I guess more like Windows 8 style, where you had like the tiles. It still made sense.
Or tabletish, kind of, yeah.
Tabletish, but it still made sense. And it wasn't slow still. Like, it was slower than it was, but it was still snappy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, at least when the Xbox One first came out and when I bought it, you press the home button, and when you're inside of a game, it would take a while to load, which is annoying because before it was just like, you press it, and then you have this little animation, and then boop, it's up.
Yeah. I just like PlayStations where it's just like, hey, there's my game.
Yeah.
Boom, there it is.
I don't know. I preferred the PS3 version of their software because the PS4 version just like it kind of shuffles stuff around sometimes, and like getting into the TV and video stuff now like lags for me.
Oh, okay.
So because it has to, it's nice because it loads up a bunch of shows underneath it. It's like you might want to watch these, so it would be like a jump, like a quick jump. Like you'd click on the show, it'd open up like Netflix or something, and then just go right to that show. So I get why they're doing it, but while that's loading, it has like a predefined list of stuff. So like it'd be like you have Netflix, YouTube, Crunchyroll, or something like that. Then when the list finally loads, it shuffles that list around. So when I've scrolled to it, just about when I'm about to click into it, it changes, and then I open up another app. At least that's how it worked a couple of months ago.
Interesting. Wonder how the PS5 will be. Probably be very similar.
I'm pretty, like, if I buy a console for next gen, unless, like, Nintendo I'm always going to buy, but
yeah,
between Xbox and PlayStation, I think I'm still going to go PlayStation.
Yeah, me too. I don't think this next cycle I'll own an Xbox, to tell the honest truth, which is, I mean, now they're releasing their games on PC, and so I saw, like, you know, Halo and Gears of War.
Yeah, they have Halo Reach on PC now.
Yeah. all of them. They have all the Halos.
Yeah, I need to
Steam, and on Steam they also had Gears of War 5, and I was like, well, that's where I'm gonna play them now.
Jeez, yeah.
So they're not gonna, lose any money from me buying games because I like their exclusives.
And you still can, if you sign up for their Game
Pass.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's available on PC. If the games are on PC, it's available on PC and on Xbox.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll probably just buy their games. But probably not their hardware. I'll just buy their PlayStation.
Yeah.
PlayStation.
So,
and, whatever.
What are you looking
Switch
up?
2.
I was seeing if there was anything I could find to compare the OSs.
You might have better looking images.
Oh.
Imagine.
It might have something. But.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so you got your PS3 version, and there's the PS4. PS2 isn't on here, but everybody knows what that one looked like.
I don't remember.
The PS2 one?
Wait, was that the first Blu-ray? No, was first
that was the PS3. This is PS4, so click out of this. Now we're gonna have to show it. So, where's your mouse? Okay, go one to the left. That's the PS3. That's also what the PSP looked like too.
Yep.
And that's why I liked it, because I had a PSP and I really liked the interface because it's clearly defined. You got videos, you had images, you had games and music. Mm-hmm. You wanted to play a game, you scroll over to games, click on it, and you scroll down to your game.
Mm-hmm.
Really simple. Now they mush it all together into one thing, and
I use the folders a lot.
Yeah, I forget that's a thing.
On my PS4 I have 6 folders.
I don't turn it on enough.
But I console game a lot. I've been PC gaming though recently more.
So do you not remember what the PS2 one looked like?
I never owned a PS2.
I think I owned the PS3 and Xboxes and an Atari 2600 and every other Nintendo console since the Wii.
I think I only missed a couple of Nintendo consoles too. I missed the Game Boy Advanced, but I did have a DS and a 3DS.
I forgot. Did they have those?
And
yeah.
And then I did.
I was gonna say
I missed the VR one. What was it called?
No, everybody
Virtual
missed
Boy,
that one.
Virtual
Boy. You really didn't miss it.
No,
I promise.
And it was even when it came out, people weren't buying it.
I thought it was cool when you got to play it at Target.
Yeah, but that was only then, and there's a reason why it didn't do very well.
Yeah,
so
I believe it.
I was gonna say my favorite console. I thought it was gonna be the PS2, but then I remembered handhelds. I think mine's the Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah,
I had
the
cool,
NES, little fold one,
the NES style one.
Oh, that's
just awesome.
Sweet. That's way cool. I liked.
I have a lot of good memories.
I like my
of that.
Switch. Honestly, that's my favorite Nintendo console so far. Before that, it was the Wii. I really liked my Wii.
Yeah. Well, the Wii was still kind of, and that's the thing about Nintendo, it's super either on your own or a party console.
Right.
And at least the other, PlayStation and Xbox, it's on your own or you can get online, play with friends. It seems a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why Nintendo even goes, we're not in the same group. Nintendo's not selling as good as everyone else. They're like, we don't care. We're not competing.
Mm-hmm. They're selling great now, though.
Yeah, on the Switch.
Really just
because I think they figured out on the Wii U. The Wii U was a good console. I will die on that hill.
Me too.
But
thank you, because I agree.
They had a problem with marketing because they used the same name.
Yes.
People thought it was just an upgraded version of the Wii, and they didn't do any marketing on it, and so people didn't even know it existed.
Exactly. No, they should. Oh man, you're speaking my language, because I thought the exact same thing when I got my Wii U day one.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved that thing. I thought it was so cool, and I was even telling my girlfriend, I was like, hey, this would sell better if they advertised it. I mean, how cool is it, if you advertise, dad watching the football game, or a kid playing a video game, and then dad says, hey man, I'm going to watch the game, so we're going to have to take that elsewhere. And then they pick up the pad, and it's like, boom, I got Mario right here.
And that pad was...
that commercial. They did have that commercial.
They did, but
they just didn't really push it up.
They did not push it enough, because that was a huge selling point. I mean, if I would have been a kid at that age, I mean, I remember, back in the day when, you just had your TV right in the living room, and maybe mom and dad had a TV in their bedroom. But it wasn't until I was in junior high and high school where I got my own TV in my room. but it was kind of like one of those things that, oh, they're taking up the TV. I can't play video games.
Yeah.
But with the Wii U, it would have been like, oh my God, I can just play right on this thing and take it around the house.
And it had a good range too.
It really did.
Like,
and it was fun. I liked playing on it. And I liked playing other games on it too. Like, I played BioShock 3 on everything. On PC, on PlayStation.
You played Infinite on there?
And
No,
not
BioShock 3.
No,
3?
not BioShock.
What was 3? I was going to say BioShock 3 was Infinite.
No, I'm thinking about Commander Shepard. I
Oh,
was thinking BioWare. Mass Effect. Mass Effect 3, I played it on PC. I played it on PlayStation. And I ended up beating it on Wii U because I just loved the interface with a gamepad where you could just drag, like it showed you the map on it constantly, and you could drag your characters to like strategic points on it. And I was like, this is
Arkham Knight
This
was
is
the
it.
that was Batman's utility belt.
Yeah, it was so cool. You know, I thought that was really neat how they integrated it. You know?
Yeah, that was a cool concept. And
yeah, it just kind of sucks. I don't consider it a failure though.
No.
You know what I mean? I really don't.
like, I only consider it a failure in that they didn't
Sell
push it as
much.
hard.
Yeah, and they should have, and that was their fault. Because I remember I had friends that were working at GameStop that the parents were just so confused about it. They're like, the Wii U. Okay, so how do I buy that little tablet? And it's like, oh, well,
It's not
a tablet. It's not an add-on. Yeah, it's not a peripheral that you hook up to your Wii. This is a whole different system. You get a new console and the pad comes with it. And they're like, what? Like, oh.
I have to drop another $250, $300. Yeah,
exactly. So it was kind of a bummer. But they used to always tell me that would be like a huge question. And they had people like returning them, and they're like, hey, I already have the console. And they're like, no, you don't have this console. You have
It looked too
your
similar.
Wii.
And
Yep.
I didn't think they looked that similar.
it was rounded edges
So?
instead of square.
boxy.
yeah.
Look at what consoles do currently with the mini upgrades. They like just round it. It's like, here's the same console, but it's rounded.
A little
Or
smaller.
it's thinner.
and,
Yeah.
You know. Remember the biggest one I thought was the PlayStation 3, the original one? Like the one that was backwards compatible with the PlayStation 2?
I had that one. I had a
big, fat, juicy one, and then you had like the slim that came out.
I just realized why I had my PlayStation 3.
Why?
Because I won it.
Oh.
Nice.
Just like your Xbox One that you won,
The second one.
the second one. I was so
I win
pissed at you.
I win things. I have decent luck.
Yeah, me too.
Not big things. Not like I'm not going to win the lottery, but I find great parking spots and I win consoles and some mediocres, some decent prizes.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
Everything comes up Millhouse for you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Can't beat it, man. Free consoles. Heck yeah. That's what I liked about working, you know, when I used to work for that website that I reviewed games for. And that would give me free consoles. I think.
I was actually in a competition with people, and
totally.
I won. I was like, oh, hey.
Yep. No. Yeah. Absolutely. No. I just mean like getting the free stuff.
Yeah,
That's nice.
that's all it is.
Free stuff.
All right.
Hashtag free stuff for life.
Yeah. With luck, maybe we just need to sign up.
So
There you go.
this article, S20. They're already on S20, or did they jump numbers?
So
So there was no 11 or 12.
Oh, that's right. The 10 was the last one.
yeah.
So
Or are they doing
they're
that
going
thing
up
where
by
they just
10s?
want to?
What? What do you think they're doing? They're doing
The same thing that Apple and everyone else is doing. Like they just skip numbers just for the reason to have a specific number.
So I'm thinking they're doing the thing that cars do.
Explain.
Oh, is it because the S20 because it's 120 hertz display?
No, because it's the year 2020.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, okay, because the year.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, okay.
Cars do that?
Yeah, it's the 2020 version of
Oh,
the
fair enough.
insert car name here.
Honda Civic.
Where they just
2020.
they tweaked the fender flare a little bit,
Exactly.
and they might have put in
Heated
an
seats.
upgrade. Yeah, heated
Yeah.
seats or an upgraded.
Or what was
stereo?
What was the upgrade last year is the normal thing this year. Actually, even tech does that.
Right.
Mhm.
I heard
The
that rear
iPad.
cameras are standard in all cars after a certain year now.
They actually are mandatory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good.
hmm
Other things should be mandatory too, but
Well, give it time. It's just, the crumple zones came around. The seatbelts got mandatory.
I'm surprised the
Rear camera. The
the-
windshields.
so I'm surprised the rear camera made it in before the sensors, like the rear sensors, like the backup sensors.
Oh, so it would like
Because mine
beep at
has,
you?
mine has the camera. It doesn't have the sensors anymore.
But the sensors, you have to you don't know the sensors are dirty, so which means they may not work.
But
the camera you look, you instantly know whether you need to stop, park, kind of wipe it off.
Oh, okay.
Or you just say, I can see good enough, and then you don't.
And that's your fault, though.
I'm guilty of that. I haven't hit anything. And if it does get really bad, like, if I can see stuff, I'll still use it. But if it's like...
I wish I could just turn it on whenever I want it.
Oh, I can. On mine.
Can you?
Yeah, if I'm stopped, it'll just stay on. But if I'm going, like, moving, it has, like, a little 7-second timer, and it spins down, and after that, it just goes away. You can also click the timer to make it go away faster, but...
That's sweet. Yeah, I don't know. On my mom's car that has it, I don't have a car that does, but it, like, you can't turn it on, like, manually and just leave it on or
Yeah,
something.
you have to go into reverse.
Yep.
What I used to do in my Subaru was when I'd go in a parking spot, go into, like, get up as far as I thought I needed to be, shift it into reverse, hold down on the brake, check the lines, put it into park.
Oh.
That's what I did. Now that's what I do with my truck too, but because it's still faster than going through the stereo, going with the interface and clicking the button. So
Yeah.
I know how you get permanent rear view.
Huh.
Install it yourself.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then figure out where you're going to put the screen.
Yep.
the little baby screen.
Yeah.
They have bigger ones too, but
I barely have room for my phone to hang there.
I'm also surprised dash cams aren't mandatory either. Like when they're just built in.
Yeah, I kind of... especially... I was thinking, like, if I was to do dash cam... Hey, we're totally sidetracking off this. We'll come back to the Samsung new phone that got leaked. But I was thinking you would want cameras in front of your car, behind your car, on your speedometer, and on you.
And on the sides. I think having side cameras would be great.
Well, I was thinking the front and rear would probably cover, but the side would be an added bonus. I see that the sides is added bonus.
Because if you don't do that, then you aren't seeing the full thing. Like you can kind of get around it with really wide angle lenses, but then those they mess up. Like they don't mess up, but they make it seem like you can see more.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to argue, well, I didn't see them, the camera saw it.
Yeah.
So you can't exactly say that you didn't because the field of view is so wide.
And well, that's why I was thinking and I was even thinking like I would want to install these cameras like this. Even the side cameras, like maybe all 6 cameras, sides, fronts, front, rear, me and my speedometer. One, it keeps me honest. Like, hey, I'm driving. You know if anything happens, this is exactly what I was doing. And it also keeps me honest because I don't want to look at my phone because, hey, if something happens, I literally have video of me messing around.
Right.
And I don't, but I want to make sure I don't.
Right. No, I totally get
And then
that.
I have evidence I didn't.
It was like that. It's like the cameras that they have on the Tesla. You know how they're like all over.
Yeah.
Did you see that lady that got caught keying that one guy's car on purpose when she walked by?
I've heard about it. I didn't watch the video. But
I totally watched it, and I was like, man, you can see her like flick the key out like on purpose and go, and then she got busted for it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Actually, there was another one recently about somebody trying to start somebody's car on fire, too.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody's trying to start a Tesla on fire. And they got it on camera and everything.
Jeez.
Yeah, some people just don't like the Teslas.
I think Teslas are awesome.
And some people are very aggressive with it.
And
Yeah,
not because of the electric car thing. I mean, that's like a bonus, but I think they're awesome because they're so fast
And powerful.
Yeah.
and powerful.
So starting it on fire is actually really bad because all the batteries.
Yes.
Like that, it's not just a normal fire.
It
won't
you
go
finally
out
get
either.
it, going on fire. I don't think it got very fire.
No, I don't think it did either because it's like,
Because it released its anti-fire extinguisher
was safe.
things that were like...
She just called the police. Hey, somebody's trying to catch me on fire.
Yeah, there's Lamborghinis that have that security too, where they're like, hey, so they call the nearest police department on their GPS, and then they report themselves stolen.
Is it the kit model?
I don't know. Some Lamborghini.
It's
that I
not
just
the
was reading about.
Knight Rider, Lamborghini Knight Rider.
I don't think so. I mean, it's like in a lot of them. I thought that was cool though.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm being stolen. Please stop this.
Nice. That was awesome. It's like, I'll just
I
blast
wonder
this
if it's
out.
in like one of those robot voices, you know? Like, I am being stolen right now. Please send help.
No Morgan Freeman.
Coordinates are beep, 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 beep.
I'd imagine they'd probably pre-record that.
It'd be awesome.
just because it's not. No one ever is gonna hear it besides the third police. So
Yeah.
maybe it is just a little robot thing. Oh, so slightly related to robot things. You know the weather emergency broadcast system that goes on the radio and TVs and stuff.
Yes.
So you know how it used to sound like crap and have a really robot-y voice?
Mm-hmm.
They've updated it recently. It still sounds robot-y,
Yeah.
but it's actually slightly it's good.
It's clear.
It's better.
Nice.
So that got triggered the other a week ago, I think, and it was cool.
Nice.
It's also shorter now too when they do a test one. Because
nobody wants to pay attention. We all get enough notifications.
yeah, it's instead of being a minute long, it was only 20 to 30 seconds.
Oh, good.
So that was neat. That was nice.
Hey, you know when there's something major going on, when everybody's phone just starts blaring, it's all right, somebody's been kidnapped, some police are chasing somebody. The one time the presidential message was tested.
Oh yeah,
That was actually interesting. That's the one message you cannot turn off on your phone.
Oh, okay.
The presidential emergency message.
Wow.
All the other ones you can, because that one, if that one happens, it is hit the fan, and everybody needs to really know about this.
Wow. That's crazy.
and you would get that for
That'd be scary if that happened.
yeah, probably just for a nuclear warhead or
I don't. I just
stuff.
don't want any of that stuff to happen.
right. You
I'm
don't.
glad it's only been tested once,
Yeah.
and it works, and I hope it never happens again.
Or a tsunami warning if we got tsunamis or stuff like
Yeah.
that. Because I think that's what they use it for in Japan, is for tsunami warnings.
Well, it can be emergency messages can be used for anything. But
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
I think that's what they primarily use it for over there. So
Very cool. So back to the Samsung Galaxy S20.
Yeah. So you're gonna love this, Anthony.
okay,
It is a 20:9 aspect ratio. It is tall.
what's
And
yours?
Probably the same. I don't know.
Is it 20/9?
I'll have to look that up.
I don't think it is.
You're gonna make me look this up. But either way, they're tall, and they're going to stick with their tallness over wide.
I hate that.
Taller over the wider.
Yeah, I don't like his phone because it's skinny. I think it's about as tall as mine is, maybe a little shorter, but
It's thinner.
yeah. And then when he has Pokemon Go open, the layout it almost makes it seem like the UI wasn't designed for something that skinny.
Oh, so it's cramped.
It's cramped, not uncomfortably cramped. Well, it is for me, but it's not noticeably cramped. It just seems the stuff looks closer together than I thought it would be.
So I was looking on that article, and it said that it had an ultrasonic fingerprint reader. Is that what Joey's phone has?
Okay, so that was something that was also interesting. I didn't realize about it. We're gonna have to look that up because I didn't know there was a difference with the screens.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so ultrasonic doesn't. Okay, the other one is ultraviolet. It'll brighten the screen to read your fingerprint,
Okay.
and that is how they were able to tell it wasn't ultrasonic. Is it the area where you put your fingerprint didn't change brightness?
Okay. Because on Joey's, can you just put your finger anywhere?
No, it has to be in
Has
that
to be in that one spot.
one spot towards the bottom.
Oh, okay.
I actually did play around with one of those.
Dude, those are
Good
so
demos.
cool, man.
Yeah, that would be the only annoying part for me, having an on-screen fingerprint reader, because when you have it on the back and a little circle divot, you know where it's supposed to be exactly. And I know that
Yeah.
it's like that on this too, but it's harder to get it in the exact right
I
spot.
just wish the iPhone had the on-screen fingerprint reader.
Yeah, me too.
I really do. I liked that.
Because I like it a lot, and I don't know that I'll enjoy Face ID as much because I'm probably going to have to get a new one
Yeah.
because I broke mine.
So mine is where'd it go? 19.5:9 ratio.
Really?
So it is a half.
Oh, that makes
Difference.
sense because 16:9. Okay, that's not that much higher than
Just a little
16:9.
Oh.
So it does have a.
What's
it
the
is-
iPads?
so it's close to mine.
Yeah. The S20 is 20:9.
Yes.
Is that what you said? Okay.
So which iPad are you looking at?
I don't know. 6, 7, whatever this is.
And you mean the Pro? Or no, that's just the regular one.
Just the
Okay.
regular one.
All right.
Because I noticed that YouTube videos, I have probably an inch or two of black bars. So it's definitely not 16:9.
So, yeah, you have the 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine's a 10.7, but yeah. Or 10. Mine's like 10.2. But they should have the same. So it's 4x3.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
Really? I guess
So
it
this
would
is
be.
wait, yours is the 10? Yours isn't the 9.7?
No. It's not. I can double check. I think that's in the settings.
Somewhere.
I can find it.
Well, because I thought the 10.2... Oh, I guess I see the 10. Yeah, you're right. Which is, then the ratio is 4x3.
Yeah, so 4x3. So it's like the old computer monitors. It seems wider. Like the square computer monitors. Those were always 4x3. Generally 4x3.
Yeah.
Wait, were they? Or were they 5x4?
No. I think it's
Well, TVs were 4x3.
old-timey TVs.
So, and the monitors might have been more square, but...
Mm-hmm.
What else? They're getting rid of the headphone jack. It's all USB-C.
I don't see a problem with that, but I imagine people are going to lose their minds over it, so...
And, fast charging and all that jazz.
So, like, with that then... so the fingerprint reader's on the back. Oh, no, that's the front.
No, it's on the front.
Oh, okay, I see.
The 3D Sonic, it's Qualcomm's 3D Sonic Max ultrasonic fingerprint scanner.
That's cool.
Oh, no, they opted out for that. So they're doing whatever their ultrasonic version is.
So it's their proprietary stuff.
Which is always scary when phone companies end up doing that stuff, because Qualcomm has become a powerhouse of their own, and they took on Apple in one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Apple was like, we're not using Qualcomm for our chips, we're not going to charge our stuff with it, and then Apple couldn't sell in China.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there was like some massiveness that happened that Apple finally had to go, fine, we're tired of fighting this. We'll buy your chip and we'll just whatever.
Deal with it.
Yeah, they've actually started like they're kind of becoming dangerously big on the mobile market. And this is for mobile, this is for tablets, for smaller computers.
Like Chromebooks,
Yeah.
Pis. Wait, maybe not Pis.
Not Pi. Well,
What do they have in there? It's
they
an
have an
ARM.
They have an
but-
ARM processor.
I mean, that's what Qualcomm is.
No,
That's what your phones have in them. They're ARM. They're ARM-based.
not all of them.
Most.
And also, it depends on the technology, because what technology is, whether it's the chip that charges your phone, whether it's the chip that uses your
but-
cellular service, whether it's the chip that
Most of the cellular services are Broadcom. So, I think.
yes,
So.
Rom-com.
yeah, no,
Then you got a... who bought a CA? Broadcom? Is that how you say that?
oh, I don't remember who bought CA.
It was some, like, telecommunications company. Like, they made, like, network cards for your computer. I think it was Broadcom.
Oh yeah, I
can
think
just
you're
look
right.
it
It
up.
is Broadcom.
And that surprised me.
So they have the faster screen. I also think I don't. Maybe I just heard the rumored on it. I swear I heard that they were going to throw in like some ridiculous 20 gigs of RAM.
What?
Did they?
Phone?
I don't. Yeah. Well, come on. The McLaren has 12.
Wow.
I think that's a lot for a phone.
I
But I
think
guess
if
Android does need it, so some of them.
well, if it has it, our phones are basically bona fide computers, and the games you can play on them, and the other processing stuff. If it has a good graphics card inside of it, I know it's kind of funny saying your phone has a graphics card, but they do.
I mean, they always did. But
Yeah, they just got bigger. They're not on. Well, they're still on board.
they're still on the chip.
Yeah.
They're still on the same chip.
Oh,
It's
is
just
it
they-
just like a GPU inside the CPU?
Yeah, they technically.
They can still have 2 chips on it.
Yeah, but generally they don't. Generally, it's all inside of the same CPU.
Mm.
Like, it's done by different stuff. Like, it's not software based. There's still a chip that is for graphics, but it's only it's like shoved off to the side of the, like inside of the CPU
Interesting.
case. But it's the same way that the PS4s and the Xbox Ones are.
Mm-hmm.
They're powered off of APUs, which is just a CPU with graphics in it.
Mm.
I can't.
Looks
find-
like 12. It says 11 gigs right
Oh
there.
yeah, there you go. On the leaked images.
Yeah. So, that might be real, might not be.
Well, So from what I understand about this, it also come with the base model, apparently 128 gigs of RAM. Or not RAM.
I was going to say, what?
It's just, we're going 2 terabytes RAM, 2 terabytes storage.
This is going to be more than the
ultra phone.
Actually, okay, so the 12 gigs of RAM will be LPDDR5. So this is like comparable.
Dance Revolution 5.
Exactly. This is comparable with like gaming machines, like gaming computers.
Wow. That's freaking crazy. That's so nuts to think about that.
Yeah. Like I
Then
said,
why does one graphics card for your computer cost so much?
actually, they're dropping in price drastically.
They are dropping
because there's graphics cards are coming out there. What it said, 64 core,
Oh, they're much more than that.
128 cores.
I just like they've had that many cores for a while because a core on graphics isn't the same as a core on CPU. They're different. Like the concept's the same, but you need more of them for graphics. So
All the power.
I do know that they might have some out now, but there's some newer ones that are going to support like real-time ray tracing, which is a big deal for graphics.
That's cool.
Because you can actually simulate, like you can actually render true light, whereas before it's just simulated light. So, well, it's still going to be simulated, obviously, but like it can calculate the reflections. So, like I have this glass of water here. You have a ray of light that bounces off of here and goes to there. Before, it's just kind of like we're going to shine this light at it and make it look like it has
It's glowing.
this glowing effect, and then so it's just approximated. But whereas with ray tracing, it's more realistic. The only problem is it takes a ton of graphics power because you have to calculate each light beam.
Which also, I was
Manually.
thinking, for mobile and tablets is be really good because Adobe's trying to also release their stuff onto tablets, like full Adobe on tablets.
Like Photoshop and stuff.
Yeah. Thing is, it didn't actually. What they released was not as much as they promised. And I'm thinking, yeah, tablets. They still, even phones, they still need a little bit more. And this is definitely moving towards
That.
I don't know, like
Well, then it's not super surprising then that Alienware is doing their little switch then.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And something that is that big, it's not super surprising that you're able to get that performance out of a device that's that small.
Maybe I will get one of those. I just realized because that is a bona fide computer that is mobile that I can play my ESO on.
Yeah.
There we go. I might know what my next computer is.
I mean, but I think
You have a
Anthony
problem,
had it spot on. Anthony and Joey, I think we're talking about price point with Alienware. That thing's
Yes.
going to be like ridiculously expensive, and that's what really sucks. Is
So
like
I'll 3D print me a case, figure out how to get a motherboard that small, buy all the pieces individually.
it's not hard.
so
I know.
mean, but theoretically,
Just buy a NUC.
So I mean, so Anthony, if
Uh-huh.
you were theoretically to piece one together, would it still be cheaper than what they're selling it for?
For Alienware?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Though, could you get like a case like Bill was saying, and 3D print it and actually put the actual motherboard that they're using and.
Okay, I don't think you could get the motherboard and stuff because I'm sure that's proprietary.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
But
also
you could
super-
use similar parts, but you're not going to get the same performance.
okay.
It's not going to look as good. And
It's kind of like building a Mac from days of old. Actually, even nowadays, still kind of. You can't really build them. Well, you kind of can now. You can now. So about 5-10 years ago, you could not build a Mac legitimately. They did.
well, you still can't now, technically.
Can you still not get the board and chip? Well, you can get. No, but you just have to get top end chips. But those tend
That
to
doesn't
go up.
matter. You can't.
They're just i7s.
Yeah, but that's not the problem. There's a bunch of other stuff in the firmware and stuff. Like, there's stuff in there to prevent it from running on Intel hardware, like normal Intel hardware.
Oh, okay. So you still have to go
that's
the
why
proprietary route.
Well, no.
Well,
There's a community out there called Hackentosh, and there's a cool origin story on that if we have time to go into it, but
we got a few minutes.
okay. So the long and short of that, well, I'll talk about this other thing first. So it's called a Hackentosh community, and the whole purpose of it is to get Mac on normal PC hardware, and it works for the most part. You have to patch a bunch of stuff, less so now than ever, but you're always at the mercy of if they upgrade it, it might break.
I see.
So
that's the thing then. Like you can run your Mac can run Windows pretty easily,
Yes.
but
'cause there's
it's
nothing-
not vice versa.
Yeah, there's nothing programmed into it to stop it, and it like Apple's software even has stuff like if it can tell it's being virtualized, unless it's a specific version of like if it's the server version of it, it'll actually perform worse.
Oh man!
Because it can tell it's being virtualized, because you're not supposed to be doing that. Because the license, in the license, it says you're not supposed to do that either. So they're technically within their right to do that.
Yeah.
But
interesting.
So, fun little note on the Hackentosh since we're here. So the first version of Mac that had Intel officially was Tiger, which was 10.4, which was way back in like 08 or 09. Maybe it was 07. But they've been working on it before that like a lot, and someone got a hold of all the stuff for like, I think it was for 3 even, which was like, I don't even remember what 3 was, but that got leaked onto like the Pirate Bay or something, and so Apple sent like a kind of a nicer cease and desist notice. Is like, hey, listen, this is a software that's not out yet. We're not even sure if we're gonna do this. Can you please take it down? They didn't, obviously, because it's the Pirate Bay, and that's how I got my HP running Tiger.
Yeah.
And it ran way better than Windows ever did.
Wow.
Well, that's
even though it didn't have accelerated graphics.
That's always the things being challenged.
Yeah, it was fun though. Now I can't do it to save my life, but because I've tried twice now. Well, friends have made me try it twice on their computers.
Bummer.
So that's fine though. Oh, there's a Hackentosh.com.
Yep, and it's going to be in the show notes.
So that's right, folks.
Is this not the
Hackentosh.com.
Is this not the Hackentosh you were talking about?
I've never heard of this website.
Oh,
It's probably fine, but Tony Mac is popular.
should I stick with the wiki article?
Yeah, just do that.
All right, the wiki article will be in the show notes.
In the show notes, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, Tiger was the first one. 2005.
Wow, that's old.
Jeez, I've been doing that for a while.
Man, you old.
I am old.
Man, that's old.
I'm not old, though. I'm the youngest one here.
That 2005, that's older than me.
I don't understand you.
Well, we should probably wrap things up.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
And with famous last words, I'm going to get mine up. Go, Anthony. Nothing.
I don't have anything. My throat hurts.
Oh.
I've been talking too much.
That was a great famous last words.
It was. Mine always suck. I either think I have a good one, completely ruin the joke, and then get made fun of for months after. So I don't know. I got kind of done with it.
What do you mean?
How about this?
You just don't try it?
I just suck at it. What's up?
How about this? Do
Okay.
you know the first computer dates back to Adam and Eve? It was an apple, and with only one bite, then everything crashed.
Yeah.
What
That
was
makes sense.
That's crazy.
That's a terrible joke. I don't like it.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's your
Okay.
turn.
Mine is Friends Applaud. The comedy is finished. Beethoven.
Oh.